Welcome back to the shipyard. Today, we're doing a top 10. This is something I've wanted to do for quite a while, actually. And I know that there's a lot of top 10s in all kinds of places. And on Warp Core Breach, Nick and I do top 3s. But there's something about top 10s that let me talk more about things that are going on here. I should preface this all by saying these are my opinions. These are solely my opinions. They may reflect what other people think, but this is done all on my own. I haven't gotten together with anyone else. And take it for what it is. The first episode of this is top retail expansions. And by that I mean, if you're buying this, then it gives you good bang for your buck. There's a lot of good cards here. Maybe not the top of the top. Those will be their own lists. But these are packs where you get some very usable cards. And I'm not going to go into great detail. For that, watch the individual review on each ship, provided I've actually done one, and I'm trying to do these specific ones quickly. But yeah, that's what this is about. Maybe this is a beginner guide. Maybe this is a get into the game guide. This is by no means a comprehensive list of what you need in order to be competitive. I say that with air quotes. But it's, hey, if you could only buy 10 expansions and you bought these 10, you would have a good mix of things and you'd be able to have a lot of fun. But I don't know that you'd be able to actually field super competitive fleets. Anyways, that's a lot of preface for this. So let's just get rolling. Number 10, the Neghvar expansion. This has a good ship, maybe not the best ship in the Klingon arsenal, but a very good, solid ship. And it's got two good captains. Martok 8, certainly one of the best captains in the game. And then not a bad Gowron, maybe surpassed by Admiral Gowron now, but still not a bad option to have. Plus, it has Drex and Incha, which are very usable upgrades. So, if you buy the Neghvar pack, you're getting some very useful cards for the Klingon faction. A great captain overall. That's why it's on the list. Number 9, the USS Reliant. And this, I think, would see a lot of disagreement overall, but probably doesn't come as a shocker for anyone that watches the channel, given how much I build with the Reliant. It's more than just the Reliant as a named ship. Yeah, the named ship's pretty cool. You're getting two good captains, Clark Terrell, and a version of Khan that's pretty good. Maybe not the Khan that everyone runs, but it's there. And also, you're getting a very widely used Pavel Chekhov. You're getting a follower of Khan, which is a 1-point crew upgrade, which sees some play. And I Stab at Thee, which is just a fun talent to throw on things and go, ha, I gotcha. To me, the Reliant enables fun builds, and that's why it's a worthwhile expansion, a bang for your buck expansion, because you're getting 3 high tier cards and a couple of good fun cards. Number 8, I don't think any retail expansion list would be complete without the USS Hathaway. This, I believe, is the most recent expansion on the list, but this pack gave you a very usable Captain Riker, a crew wharf, which is a cool quality denier, Wesley, which was much requested, and Warp Jump, which is one of the top tech in the game. Yeah, that list is coming. Give me a little bit of time. But the Hathaway is a pack that just keeps on keeping on, and there's some surprisingly good cards out of this very little ship. And the named ship itself is a fantastic ship that can go toe-to-toe with just about anything. Just wait for it. That's my advice. Wait for it. That brings us to number 7. And that is the IRW Hakona. Romulans don't have the best overall expansion packs. A lot of their packs, you get like one good card here, one good card there. But the Hakona, while not necessarily the best named ability on a Daenerys, though a very good one, comes with a fantastic admiral, a very good captain in Terrace, a nice 1-point captain with Centurion, and then one of the most widely used Romulan crew, Romulan helmsman, Romulan security officer, which see play, and 2 of the most widely used Romulan weapons and secondary weapons as actual secondary weapons in Disruptor Beams and Disruptor Pulse. This pack has so many useful cards. If you play Romulans or you play mixed and you don't own a Hakona, you're doing it wrong. You're depriving yourself of so many options that I have to question why you don't have it. If it's because you couldn't buy one, then I totally understand. But if it's because you kind of went, I don't want that, then go find one of these. Seriously, it's one of the best expansion packs for a good reason. The only reason it's number 7 is because I genuinely think that 6 expansion packs are better than it. Number 6, Bioship Beta. Yes, it's Bioship. That much is solid. And yes, I know I don't win any arguments in terms of the named ship, but the named ship has its place. The captain even has its place. But what biological technology does for the faction is amazing. And what the other upgrades allow, just in terms of potential building blocks, it doesn't fix species. That's for the Omega. But it made species much more playable in a day when they only had one expansion. And it more than doubled their options. This is a pack that, yeah, the cards only really work on species ships, but they're good. They do good work. And the stuff you can do with Species 8472, I had to find a way to put one of them on this list. And given the choice between Alpha and Beta, I had to go for Beta. Alright, number 5, Scout 608. The named ship alone makes this pack worthwhile, but add in a feedback tactical drone, which is very underrated. Not necessarily for serious competitive play, but for fun. It's good. And add in 2nd of 5 and 4th of 5. There's some really good ganker cards in here that really, really make Borg and non-Borg alike a lot scarier. Plus, magnetometric guided charge. The things you can do with mag charges are just fantastic. So, for a ship, 3 upgrades, and a captain, that's why it's number 5, and could legitimately be higher. But I didn't want to take too much backlash for putting Borg even higher on this list. Plus, I like 4 expansions more so. So that brings us to the USS Pasteur for the Mirror Universe. And while I don't like the ship for running the ship, I like almost every upgrade in this pack. Admiral Riker's good, both as an admiral and a captain. Beverly Crusher is usable. Worf is usable if you're not running Admiral Worf. Alyssa Ogawa has a place. Starfleet Intelligence has a place. Yellow Alert has a place. Even Inverse Tachyon Pulse could have a place. A rare place, but a place. Nell Chilton could have a place in the game as well. Mission play for sure. Impulse Drive even has a position in the game. This pack is either good or at least mission playable. There's no card I hate in this pack. If it just had a better ship, it would easily be my number one expansion, and there wouldn't even be a contest about it. The only reason it's number 4 is that it lacks a good ship, and there are some middling upgrades here. And there's no, stand-out number 1, tier ultimate cards. But really good pack, really solid pack, surprisingly solid pack. And the Pasteur needs more love. Not as a ship, but as a pack. That brings us to number 3, and my beloved ISS Defiant. I've rhapsodized enough about why I love the named ship defensive abilities. But the pack has 2 at least playable captains. Ben Sisko, Miles O'Brien have their place. And anytime you have a place, then you've got something to build on. As far as upgrades go, we have some of the most used cards. Jen Sisko and Mirror Julian Bashir saw so much play during the regional season in 2016, and I still see people pulling them out to this day. Esri Tegan is a fun stealing card, not always used, but there. Rom is getting love to this day. Craig, good job there. Rebellion is a great talent, so is Strafing Run. You want to talk about a faction that has talents? It's Mirror. They do some wonderful things. And the aft phaser emitter is a 1-point weapon. I pull that out from time to time, and when I do, it has a purpose. So I always like 1-point cards. They enable certain builds. I can overlook this pack having one bad card, one card that doesn't see much play, because it has some very good cards, some super cards with Julian Bashir and Jen Sisko, and it's got a pretty good ship ability. Another really good pack as a whole. I know that's back-to-back Mirror in the 3 and 4 spots, but that's the end of Mirror. Yeah. Number 2, the Koronak. And yeah, it's mostly for Gul Dukat and Bohica, but it's also for the named ship and generic Keldon class. Generic Keldons are fantastic still. I love them. 5 attack dice, 180 arcs. That's still a viable strategy. It's not always the best. I know Feds can do it better and have quality associated with it, but it's there. Another thing that gets overlooked in this is Captured Intelligence. It's a viable talent. It's not the best talent to run, but it's playable. We kind of ignore the weapons. But the reason this moves above the Mirror packs that I just go on and say, almost all the cards are great, is that Dukat and Bohica fit into that ultimate tier. Almost every situation. There's not a time where you don't want to find a place to run them. Now, maybe Mutiny changes some of that, but even then it doesn't, because they're not using their action bar. So, if anything, Mutiny has made Gul Dukat even better. And for that reason, you still want this pack. Plus, it's a Dominion ship. Cardassian, but Dominion faction. And you get a cloaking device, which is terrible in competitive play. But for fun play, bring it on. Bring on Tetrion emissions. Bring on a 360 firing arc. Not that you put it on the Keldons, but you put it on your big Dominion ships that only have a 90 forward arc, that don't turn. Now they've still got 360 fire. That's worth it. Also, Golovec is a captain on there, and while he's terrible in the Cardassian faction, unless you're cloaking, he goes on so many other things, on Romulan ships, on Klingon ships, on Xindi Weapon Zero. He does good work there. Alright, number 1, I think you guys may have figured it out. Hopefully, somebody's got some bets on this. But my number 1 expansion is the Alpha Hunter. And I probably shouldn't have to explain too much of this, but I'm going to, nonetheless, because, well, that's what I'm here for. That's why you guys watch. The ship itself is great. Being able to sensor echo as a free action gets you in firing arcs, and that's really cool. Carr is a fantastic captain. One of the top 10 captains in the game. Spoiler alert, he'll be on that list. The Alpha Hirogen is a generic 6-skill captain with a really cool ability. Stalking mode is a great talent. Intercept course, playable. Full reverse, great talent. Taranj, interesting crew. Monotanium armor plating, very useful tech. We don't talk about weapons, but that's okay. Sensor network, meh, not so much. This is a pack that has high tier cards, has a really good ship, and is fun to play. If you could only buy one expansion to go with your core set, you buy an Alpha Hunter, and you put it on the board, and it can compete with the Galaxy class. It can compete with a Daenerys. It could compete with a Vorcha. You might have some tough matchups, but you could make it work. And maybe that's how this list should be done. Buy these expansions in order from 1st to 10th. No, don't do that. That's a completely different list. I think if these are 10 expansions that you buy, they would give you a great variety. I will do this for some of these lists. Some honorable mentions, things that just missed the list. The Wave Zero Basic Enterprise. Fantastic ship. Just not enough solid cards to spread around. Once you get past Mr. Spock and Sulu, and Cheat Death and the named ship, there's just not quite enough there to keep on keeping on. And even then, you're paying a lot for those upgrades. The Delta Flyer. Really cool upgrades. Really cool fact that it's a shuttle. Does a lot of good stuff. But just not quite enough. And the Reklar. Also, really good expansion. Golma Dread. Bigger 360 fire for Dominion ships. And some interesting talents. Plus a really cool Galler class ship. But just, again, not quite enough on the depth of cards. Not enough great cards to make a top 10. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment with anything that you think I've missed. And, hey, let me know what your top 10 would be. Because, hey, a discussion, it's always a good thing. Again, thank you guys for watching. And until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care, guys.